So we actually did this before Indigenous People Day, and we didn't really have like leftovers, like leftovers. So what we did was improvise. Now, before we get too deep into the video, I just want to ask you guys, hit that subscribe button if you like the content we put out, and hit the like button on this video if you like what you saw today. And leave a comment. Let us know what you do with your Indigenous People Day leftovers. So anyway, what we did was we took some Pepperidge Farm stuffing premix, and some instant mashed potatoes to kind of mimic like leftovers or whatever. We've seen a lot of different leftover like dumplings and some type of wonton Asian-ish type meals. And I wanted to do something like down home Southern classic. Now in this particular video, my daughter is going to be helping me out with some of the things because she wanted to help. It's okay. Let the kids come have fun in the kitchen. But in this particular video, we didn't do any like set measurements or anything like that. We literally just winged the whole thing. So if you're comfortable with just winging it in the kitchen, I say go for it. If you're not comfortable with winging it in the kitchen, at the end of the video, I will give you the closest measurements I can possibly give you, because the idea behind this is to like use actual leftovers from the dinner. So in this video, I'm only using the dressing. Some people call it stuffing. Dressing and stuffing is two different things. I don't care what nobody tells you. Mashed potatoes, the turkey broth from the turkey meat, or turkey meat, that sounds weird for some reason. And I think that's about it. I think that's all I use in this. I didn't actually include like any corn or green beans into this. I wanted to kind of keep it simple. Now, as far as the instructions that was on the back of the mashed potatoes and the stuffing mix that I had, I ignored it. And I just went ahead and added hot water just to rehydrate everything a little bit, because I'm going to actually make dumplings out of this mix right here. I'm also going to add flour to it to act as a binder to kind of keep everything from falling apart. And just mix to build gluten, because gluten also gonna help keep everything together. Now, if you're trying to figure out where my sous chef is, or the master chef, aka, she's actually still getting ready for the shoot, so you'll see her here in a little bit. She's going to actually help me with the dough. Now, this turkey stock I found came from Trader Joe's. And honestly, shopping at multiple grocery stores, I don't think I've ever seen straight turkey stock. I've always seen maybe a mixture of turkey and chicken. This is all turkey stock. It has celery, carrots, and onion in it, but that's it. If you're having a hard time finding turkey stock, I would say just replace it with chicken stock. I mean, it's the closest thing to it. Not flavor wise though. It has a completely different flavor, but adding beef stock to this will just completely throw it off. And you're not gonna have quite enough stock from roasting a turkey. You will have to take the bones from the turkey that you've eaten and boil it to get the same amount of stock, and that's kind of gross. So yeah. Another thing is, if you're going to be using leftovers for this dish, more likely you're going to have pre-cooked turkey, and the process is not going to take as long. For me, I couldn't really find like pre-cooked turkey. I can only find turkey lunch meat. I didn't want that. It's not gonna work for this. So what I did was I bought a turkey breast, perfect amount of meat and everything, and I boiled that whole, chopped it up, and threw it back into the broth. Alright, so my sous chef came back. She finally got dressed up and grabbed her extra apron so she can throw on so she don't get messy. And we're going to work the rest of this recipe together. Alright, so we had some time, and I let my daughter practice on rolling out the dough and cutting the individual dumpling pieces. And I know a lot of people are going to ask questions about this, like how big do you cut your dumpling pieces? And I even see in a store where they are selling frozen pre-mixed dumpling dough. Now, for normal chicken and dumplings, it's normally just butter, flour, probably a splash of milk and water. That's normally what I do. And you can make this yourself. You don't have to buy that stuff. And I think that box of dumpling dough was like $5, I think. And it was, it was pre-cut. So, only thing you have to do is, once you get your dumpling dough patted out, you can take a piece of cutter and flatten out your dough. And you can cut your dough to, I'll say, sugar packet sizes, and you throw them in the broth. But the broth has to be boiling. Like, you can't just throw it in cold water and expect it, because the hot water, the boiling hot water is the key here. The boiling hot water is the thing that firms it up, boils it down to noodles so that it can be eaten. I don't know, is a dumpling a noodle? I guess. Anyway, that's what you do. So it's typically not ideal to throw the dumpling pieces in one at a time into the pot. You're supposed to have them all chopped up and ready to go into the pot at the same time so they can all cook at the same time. My pot, I can do what I want. Now, if you want to follow that rule, you can. But for me, I didn't really have a whole lot of space here, so that's why I kind of did what I did. I did 2 separate batches. They still boiled just fine and tasted just fine. So like I said at the beginning of the video, I don't really have a straightforward set recipe for this. This is just something that I did on the fly. And this is actually something that I'm doing right now as I put this video out. Like, I'm making leftover dumplings. We did this video at the beginning of the month, and as I speak, I am boiling leftover dumplings. This recipe is just a tester recipe. It's not a definite thing. Just gonna have to explore with it a little bit. You're just gonna have to trial and error. But anyway, though, guys, like I said, if you enjoyed this recipe, hit that like button. If you like the content we put out, please subscribe. Thank you for watching, and until next time.